Hello and welcome to the chapter Measurement and Motion Part 1. Today in this chapter we will be covering up this content, that is introduction, units of measurement, SI units for measurement, measurement of length, devices used for measuring length, measuring the length of a straight line, measuring the length of a curved line, estimation and its relevance, motion, types of motion, history of transport. Introduction. We come across various physical quantities in everyday life. These include length, mass, time, area, and volume. An idea about how large or small these quantities are is useful to us in different situations. For example, a shopkeeper measures the mass of different items such as sugar, rice, salt, etc. before selling them. A milkman measures the volume of milk before delivering it to you. A doctor measures the temperature to find whether the patient has fever or not. A tailor measures the length of a cloth to stitch a dress. Measurement is an essential part of our everyday life. The use of measurement not only makes our life easy but also helps us to save time, effort, and money. Measurement involves the comparison of an unknown physical quantity with a standard measure of the quantity called a unit. Units of measurement. In earlier times, people used different parts of their body as a unit of measurement. For example, handspan. The distance between the tip of the thumb and the tip of the little finger of a fully stretched hand. Cubit. The distance between the elbow and to the middle finger. Footspan. The distance between the tip of the toe to the ankle of the foot. The above units of measurements were not reliable because the length of the body parts varies from person to person. To remove these problems, scientists all over the world developed a standard system of units known as SI system. SI units for measurement. The SI units were adopted in 1960. This system is known as International System of Units. The SI units have now been accepted by most of the countries. A standard unit is a measure which has a fixed value. It does not vary from person to person or place to place. The SI units for measurement of common quantities are: for length, meter; for temperature, Kelvin; for time, second; for mass, kilogram. The National Physical Laboratory in New Delhi is responsible for maintaining the standard units in India. SI system of unit is preferred over other units because of the following reasons. It is accepted universally. Conversion of units is easy. Units are standard and do not change with time and place. System of multiple and sub-multiple units are defined for large and small measurements. Measurement of length. Length is defined as the extent from one end of the object to the other end. Distance is another term related to the length. Meter is the SI unit of length accepted worldwide. Devices used for measuring length. We use various devices to measure length of an object. Some of these are measuring tape, meter rod, ruler or scale. All those devices are marked with divisions to measure the length of an object. These divisions can be in millimeter, centimeter or inches. Measuring the length of a straight line. To measure the length of a straight line, follow the steps given below. Place the measuring instrument close to the length of an object which is to be measured. It should be parallel to its edge. Adjust the instrument so that the zero mark of the instrument coincides with one end of the length. Note the reading of the instrument at the other end of the line. This gives us the length of the line. If the zero mark of the instrument is unclear or broken, the measurement can be started at any other mark on the instrument. You must remember to subtract this reading from the reading at the other end to get an accurate measurement of length. Correct way to use a ruler. The placement of the eye above the instrument is also important for an accurate measurement. You must keep your eye exactly vertically over the mark which is to be read. Measuring the length of a curved line. We cannot use a scale directly to measure the length of a curved line. It can be measured by using a thread or a scale. To measure the length of a curved object using a thread, follow the steps given below. Make a small knot near one end of the thread. Place this knot on the starting point of the curved object. Carefully lay out the thread over the edge of curved object, making sure that there is no sag or looseness in the thread. Continue till you reach the other end of the line. Place a small mark on the thread with a pen at this point. Stretch out the thread and measure the length from the knot to the mark on the thread with a scale. The length of the thread is the length of the curved object. Estimation and its relevance. It is often necessary to make accurate measurement in various activities of life. However, it is not necessary to make accurate measurement at all times. At times, even a rough idea about the measurement is sufficient. Estimation is getting an approximate measurement without using any measuring instrument. The approximate measurement of a quantity is called an estimate. For example, while cooking food, a cook usually makes a rough estimate of how much spices or water is required in a dish. Estimation is useful as it saves our time, eliminates the need for elaborate measurements, and help us arrive at a decision based on experience rather than actual measurement. Motion. Observe the various objects around you. You will find some objects are standing while others are moving. An object is said to be at rest if its position does not change with time with respect to a stationary observer. For example, the chair of a dining table are at rest with respect to the dining table. An object is said to be in motion if its position changes with time with respect to a stationary observer. For example, the passengers sitting in a moving bus are in motion with respect to an observer standing outside the bus. Types of motion. Translational motion, rotational motion, periodic motion, oscillatory motion, random motion. All the above objects exhibit different types of motion. Let us learn about them. Translational motion. Translational motion is a motion which all the parts of an object move in the same direction at a given time. Translational motions are of two types, rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is a motion in which an object moves in the same direction along a straight path at a given time. For example, motion of a car on a straight road. Curvilinear motion. Curvilinear motion is a motion in which an object moves in the same direction along a curved path at a given time. For example, motion of a car on a curved road. Rotational motion. Rotational motion is a motion in which an object moves around a fixed axis without changing its position. For example, motion of the hands of a clock. Periodic motion. Periodic motion is a motion in which a movement is repeated at regular intervals of time. For example, rotation of Earth on its axis. Oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion is a motion in which an object moves to and fro about a mean position after a regular interval of time. For example, motion of a pendulum. Random motion. Random motion is a motion in which the direction of the motion of an object keeps changing. For example, motion of a fly. Today we have various means of transport to move from one place to another. But have you ever wondered how people moved from one place to another in earlier times? Let us learn about the history of transport. In ancient times, people did not have any means of transport. They used to move from one place to another on foot and carry goods on their back or in hand. To travel across the water, they used simple boats made by hollowing out tree trunks. After humans learned to tame animals, they started transporting themselves and their belongings on the back of animals like donkey, horse, camel, etc. The invention of wheel led to the development of a variety of modes of transport, such as bullock cart. The invention of steam engine and petrol engine led to the development of modern means of transport like cars, buses, trains, airplanes, and motorboats. Future modes of transport may include solar-powered vehicles and automated vehicles run by computer and robots. So, here is a quick summary of this chapter. Measurement is the comparison of unknown quantities with a standard unit or quantity. A standard unit is a measure which has a fixed value of a quantity. The extent from one end of an object to the other end is called its length. The SI unit of length is meter, mass is kilogram, and time is second. Measuring tape, ruler or scale are some devices to measure length of an object. An object is said to be in motion if its position changes with time with respect to a stationary observer. Translational motion, rotational motion, periodic motion, oscillatory motion, and random motion are the different types of motion. In the next part of this video, I have explained the questions and answers of this chapter. Thank you for watching this video. Till then, take care.